Welcome to Fightmaster Yoga, where it's not about the pose and you don't have to be perfect. Hi, I'm Leslie Fightmaster. Today's class, Blissful Yin Yoga, a perfect daydream. Make sure that you have props available and a couple of blankets, pillows, yoga blocks. Just go and grab whatever you have and come to a comfortable seat with your hips higher than your knees. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment to visualize your perfect day. And we will sit in a seated meditation for a few minutes. While you're here, start to make your breath even and comfortable. If you would like to practice Ujjayi pranayama, you can, but just make it a very soft and gentle Ujjayi breath. Allow your legs and your hips to be heavy. And from that heaviness, begin to lengthen above the waist, finding space between each vertebra, widening through the collarbones, and lift the crown of your head up toward the sky. Keep your chin parallel with the earth. And then continuing your steady breathing, go back to your picture of your perfect day. Bring to mind where you would be, who, if anyone, you would be with, what, if anything, you would be doing. Make a picture just for a moment or 3. Make it as clear as you can. And then bringing your awareness back to your body. We'll come into our first yin posture, which is child's pose. So grab a pillow or two and rest your chin or your forehead and your chest and your belly on it. You could also just rest your head on the floor if that's comfortable. But remember, with our yin practice, we want to remain comfortable. So we don't want to go into so deeply into a posture that we can't breathe and maintain it. So use your props. Take your knees at least as wide as your hips, maybe a little bit wider. You could also put a blanket between the backs of your thighs and your calves if your knees ever give you any trouble. And then when you're settled, just breathe. I'll be reading some quotes today, and I'm also going to let you know some benefits of practicing yin yoga, because I know for some it is very challenging, so at least you'll know the good reasons that you're doing this. But first, a quote. This is from Tim Cook. Let your joy be in your journey, not in some distant goal. Let your joy be in your journey and not in some distant goal. Remember to scan your body from time to time and notice if you have been holding or if you've created any tension in your body. The yin practice is all about surrender. Inhale and walk your hands back so you can come up, sitting still on your knees, but keep your hips above your knees and then begin to walk your hands forward. This is Anahatasana. Take a moment to point your thumbs up toward the ceiling. That'll give you a nice external rotation of your upper arm. And then place your bolster, blankets, pillows underneath your chest so that you can be propped up and comfortable. So we will be here for a few minutes. And then as you're here, if at any time you feel like you could go or want to go a little bit deeper, you can always remove the props. But it's good to start with something. When you practice yin yoga, you revitalize the tissues in your body. As you hold the pose, you begin to release deeper into your body. And as you do, your tissues are lengthening and hydrating and becoming more pliable. Your body is restoring its range of motion as you practice. So continue breathing and releasing and relaxing. Allow your chest to just sink toward the floor. If you do have any back pain though, engage your belly muscles to protect your back. Inhale, sliding the hands under the shoulders, and move your props out of the way. And then we'll come onto the belly. Place your forearms down on the mat for Sphinx Pose. Take a moment to just allow yourself to hang there in Sphinx. So your shoulders might come up a little bit around the ears, which is fine. And traditionally, we're not trying to engage the belly and lengthen the sitting bones toward the heels like we normally would in a back bend. However, if you have any back pain, then you will. You'll keep a slight engagement, the outer hips firming in, the inner thighs lifting to the sky, and the belly lifted. So you may need to kind of play around a little bit with what your body is okay with. And that is another great thing about the yin practice, because it teaches self-compassion. It gives you the opportunity to observe and nurture, soothe and calm yourself as you come into your postures. You're careful and you take care of your body's needs. So this is a wonderful way and form of self-care and loving kindness. Remember to scan, check in, and see if you're holding tension anywhere that you don't need to be. I've noticed that to be the biggest challenge for my yin practice is I constantly want to engage my muscles. So see if you have that tendency. Maybe you have another one. But take a moment to lower all the way down. Let your head rest on your hands. Take one ear down to the floor and just breathe and sink down. Now bring your head back to center and your elbows again under your shoulders, again to Sphinx Pose. And there's an option for Seal Pose, which is a little deeper as you press into the hands. You lift the forearms and the elbows up. There's a bigger back bend. So once again, check with your body and see if that works for your particular body on this particular day. And as you're here breathing, a quote from Jonathan Groff: "Just follow your joy, always. I think that if you do that, life will take you on the course that it is meant to take you." Feel free to increase your back bend or decrease it as we stay here another minute or so. Do your best to soften those muscles in your body, in your back, and your belly if you can. And then let everything go. Release back down, resting the other ear down on the floor or on your hands. And breathe here. Just like a pile of jelly. Let everything go. Slide your hands under your shoulders to press yourself up. And then take your hips off to one side, taking your legs in front of you. And you may opt to sit up on the edge of a pillow, bolster, or folded blanket to lift your hips. Bring your right leg over the left, pointing your right knee toward the front of your mat. So this is half shoelace. And then extending the left arm up, bend your elbow. Take your right arm out to the side, bring it behind you, and hold your hands or hold onto your shirt. And you can stay sitting up or you can fold forward, remembering that you're more than welcome to round the back if that feels comfortable on your back. Otherwise, keep your spine lengthening and straight. Now the extended leg, the left leg, you can just let it be without engaging the muscles of that leg. And that left elbow, you can let that hang down as well. And your right shoulder can just roll in. You could put a bolster or blanket on your top thigh under your belly. You could also roll up a little blanket in between both legs. And if sitting in this posture just doesn't work for you, then extend your right leg forward and just come into a forward fold there. Most importantly, breathe, release, and relax. From Kyle Gabron, there are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. As you inhale, if you've rounded forward, make your way up. Now releasing the hands, extend your arms out to the sides and flex your wrists for a moment. And then releasing, extend the right leg forward and bring your fingertips behind you, facing the back of your mat, and pressing down on the hands to stretch the wrists a little bit more. So allow yourself to lean back, your elbows can bend, legs are soft. Soft breath, soft body, quiet mind. And walk yourself up to seated. Remember, you can be sitting up on a pillow or folded blanket, whatever you have available. Bend the left knee so that it's pointed toward the front of the mat. And you can place blankets, bolsters, pillows on top of that leg. Take the right arm up, bending the elbow, taking the palm toward the upper back, and the left arm behind your back, holding on to your shirt or holding your hands. Either stay up or round forward, or if that doesn't feel good on your back, you can come forward with a long spine. And once again, if this pose isn't good for your knee, then just extend both legs forward and fold. So as you're here, you can allow your head to hang. Allow that right elbow to hang down as well as the left shoulder. And then relax your belly. Relax your face. This is from Helen Keller. Joy is the holy fire that keeps our purpose warm and our intelligence aglow. Continue breathing, sinking, surrendering. Just a few more breaths here. Or not even that. Inhale, make your way up slowly. Release your hands. Take your arms out to the sides. And then inhale, sweep them up. And then exhale, take them behind you, this time with your fingertips facing your torso, and release your leg. And then just gently start to lean back. And your legs can be soft. So as you lean back, enough so that you feel a little stretch in the wrists. But let everything else go. You can hold your head up or drop your chin down or lift your chin up, whatever feels right. And just sink back for a few breaths. Inhale, walk yourself up. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. So always sit up on a pillow or bolster. And then if your knees bother you at all, put blocks or rolled up blankets under your outer thighs. You can also put blankets in front of you so that when you lean forward, you have something to rest on. So we're going to start sitting up and then turn your fingers in toward your legs, toward your torso. So your palms are trying to be flat on the mat. And then leaning forward, maybe just slightly. You can bend your elbows if that's more comfortable for you. Just again, so you can get some stretching in the wrists. We're just going to stay here another 30 seconds or so. As the wrists are stretching, see if you can release everything else. And release that and just kind of circle your wrists and shake them out a little bit, get some movement. And then we're going to do this again. But walk your hands a little more forward and lean your body forward. You can allow your elbows to bend, of course. And let your head hang down as you stretch in a little bit deeper into the wrists. Once again, if you have wrist issues and this isn't working for your particular body on this day, then ease up. And you can just sit in butterfly instead. in with your breathing. Scan your body, releasing tension. And then release that as you make your way up. And once again, circle the wrists, shake them out. Get some movement to release that. And then we'll sit up in butterfly pose. And option to hinge forward and fold, letting your back round. You can also place pillows, blankets on your legs so that you have some props to help support you. And you could also put something under your head. So see if you can release tension in your shoulders, in your neck, your face, your jaw, as you breathe here. Another benefit of our yin practice, it forces us to slow down. If you are anything like me, you may have the habit of burning the candle at both ends. So it is so important for your health to slow down and replenish your mind and your body. Continue relaxing here for a couple of minutes. Keep breathing, letting go, surrender. Slide your hands under your shoulders and slowly make your way up. And then take your feet onto the floor, wide as your mat, and rock your knees from side to side. You can do this up on your hands or on your forearms or while you're lying down. And now coming to seated, and turn and face the long side of your mat. And bending your left leg, extend your right leg out to the side. You can put blankets and pillows on top of your leg. If your knee happens to hyperextend or go past straight, I would recommend putting like a little corner of a blanket or something underneath the knee joint, the back of the knee, because that will keep it that'll keep you from sinking right down into it too much. And then folding over your straight leg. Allow yourself to find some stillness once you get into your posture. The back is rounded unless that hurts your back. You could also put a blanket underneath your bent knee to the outside of your thigh if that knee gives you any trouble. And you can also sit up on the edge of a folded blanket or the edge of a pillow. And as you're here, a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. And as you continue holding this posture, feel free to allow yourself to sink in deeper and feel just as free to use some more props. Just let go. Take a quick moment to scan your body once again and see if you're holding tension anywhere. Become aware of it and then release it as best you can. As you inhale, slide your hands under your shoulders to slowly come up. And then bring your hands behind you, take your legs wide, and again, rock your knees from side to side. You can turn your head as well, move into the shoulders, whatever you like. And then we'll do the other side. So the right leg bends, left leg extends out to the side. If your knee needs a little support from overextending, put a corner of a blanket there or a little piece of pillow. And then turning toward the straight leg, fold and put as many pillows, blankets, bolsters as you like. And if your bent knee bothers you at all, then prop up underneath the thigh with a pillow or a folded blanket. When you practice yin yoga, you tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest nervous system. You find stillness. You might start to hear your stomach gurgle. Your food is digesting because you're relaxed. There is a lot of dis-ease connected to digestion in the gut. So taking this time is very good for your body. More benefits of the parasympathetic nervous system include relieving stress, releasing tension, lowering blood pressure, improved sleep, and increased immune function, balancing hormones, and there are more. And most of us don't do it often enough. So with that in mind, sink in deeper or prop yourself up higher so that you can surrender and relax. Slowly make your way back up and move your props out of the way. Take your feet onto the floor wide and move your knees again from side to side. You can do this up on your hands or on your forearms or lying down. And you can let your head move as well and your shoulders. And then we'll turn back to the front of the mat for a downward facing dog. Grab a block or a couple blocks or build up some pillows and blankets. Take your feet as wide as the mat and your hands as wide as the mat. You can hold the sides of the mat. That'll help you from slipping. And let your head rest down on something if you can. Otherwise, you can do the same thing without, but if you've got something to rest your head on, it's nice. Let your knees be soft as well as your elbows. You can let your back arch a little bit, as long as it doesn't hurt your back. And breathe. We'll only be here another 30 seconds or so, but if you need to come out sooner, that's fine. And then from here, we're going to come into Pigeon Pose. So taking the right leg forward into Pigeon. If you roll onto your right hip, we'll prop it up with a block or a blanket, pillow, whatever you have to keep your hips level. And then place something in front of you as well, so that when you exhale to come forward, you'll have support to rest on. So prop it up as high as you like, because we'll be here for a few minutes. So you might want to rest your head. You might want to move that blanket or pillows underneath your chest. And of course, if this hurts your knee in Pigeon Pose, then you can either Sit with your shins crossed and fold forward there. Or onto your back, you can take that figure 4 or thread the needle with your right ankle just past your left knee and holding there, gently holding. Joseph Campbell said, "We cannot cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy." Continue sinking in, releasing tension. Allow your body to relax. One of the wonderful benefits of yin is it allows us to sit with our emotions. Now, usually when we have an emotion or start feeling emotional, we think we have to do something about it to change it. But learning to sit with emotions helps you to become less reactive and more comfortable and more at peace. Slowly make your way back up, but keep the leg as it is, and then slide your left arm underneath the right so you come onto the left shoulder. Bring your right hand behind your back and just let it rest somewhere, or you might choose to hold your foot if you like that. And then, if possible, start to turn your head a bit, so you're trying to move your back of your head toward the floor. Never forcing, of course, but just in that direction. You can prop up your back with blankets and pillows, and under your head and your bottom shoulder. We won't be here as long as we were in Pigeon. In fact, we're coming back to center already. Make your way onto hands and knees, tuck your toes, and just take a gentle down dog. Just a little stretch for your arms and your legs. You can grab the sides of your mat again, walk your feet as wide as the mat, and just stretch and hang. Let your head release. It might even release down to the floor, who knows? But just allow yourself to be comfortable. And then walk your hands shoulders distance, feet hips width, and we'll do the other side. So gently lift your left leg and bring it through for pigeon. Or take your alternate hip opener on the other side. Remember, if you're in pigeon and your left hip rolls down, prop it up so that it's even with the right. And then bring whatever props you would like to have in front of you. You can rest your belly, your chest, your head, all of the above on your blankets, your pillows, whatever you have available. And then once you get into your pose, you know what to do. Just sink in, unwind, relax, let it go. Here is a quote from Carlos Santana. If you carry joy in your heart, you can heal any moment. Remember, you're welcome to, at any time, sink in deeper or come out so you're not too deep. Do your best to remain in stillness, but of course, take care of your body. Another wonderful benefit of your yin practice is it helps you to become more resilient to stress. When you practice, you give up the need to control, and you can take that into the rest of your life. Because change is the one constant you can always count on. So being able to let go of control and manage change with grace will lessen your overall stress. Remember to check and see if you're holding tension anywhere. Sometimes it creeps up without noticing until you check and become aware. Slowly press yourself up. Keep your left leg in the same position. Reach your right arm underneath the left, coming onto the right shoulder. And then take your left hand behind you, resting it or holding your foot. Now remember, you can prop up your head. You can also put a prop behind your back so that you don't roll too far. And anything else you need, upper back, whatever you need to be comfortable. And again, we're not going to be here as long. So just close your eyes and take a few breaths. Slowly unwind yourself, coming back to center. Grab your block if you have one. We're going to do another down dog with the feet as wide as the mat and the arms as wide as or holding the sides of the mat. And let your head rest down on something if you have something that it reaches to. And then let your belly just relax. Let your hips relax, and your legs, and your shoulders, and your neck. And then make your way onto your knees and into child's pose. You can rest your head on something if you'd like. And just bring your arms alongside your body so your shoulders can roll down. Knees maybe a little closer together so your belly can rest, or put a prop between your thighs and your belly. And maybe another one between the backs of your legs and your calves. And slowly press yourself up and move your props out of the way. And take your hips to one side, sliding the legs forward, and then carefully we'll lower down onto our backs. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, inhaling. As you exhale, guide it off to the left, and then let that left knee bend as much as it wants to. So in your twist, you can prop up your back, so the back of your body. You can put a blanket underneath from your shoulder to your hip. You can also prop up your right knee so that your right leg is resting on something. Turn and look over your right shoulder unless that bothers your neck. And then see if you can again surrender. Another benefit, your yin practice restores balance. I bet you have a busy life, and I bet you could use more time to recharge yourself. And that means relaxing. And when you don't do it, that can lead to problems in your body, problems with how you feel. So we'll inhale and come back to center, hips to center. Draw the left knee into the chest and exhale. Bring it across for your twist. You can prop up again from the hips all the way up to the shoulder. And looking over the left shoulder. And bend your right knee as much as you like. Both knees can be bent. And then just relax. Taking this time to practice yin will balance out your active or your yang lifestyle. Bring you back to equilibrium in your body and in your mind. Breathe and relax. Inhale your head to center. Take your feet onto the floor, knees to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. And we'll be setting up for our final resting pose. So you can just lie flat on your mat in a regular Shavasana, or you can prop up your knees with a bolster or rolled blanket. You can use another blanket under your head if you like, or that little neck roll we did in our last yin class. Take a few moments to get comfortable, and then just relax. Surrender. Let go. Our quote today is, well, we've had many, but our final quote is from Paulo Coelho. Love is the force that transforms and improves the soul of the world. When I first reached through to it, I thought the soul of the world was perfect. But later I could see that it was like other aspects of creation, had its own passions and wars. It is we who nourish the soul of the world, and the world we live in will either be better or worse, depending on whether we become better or worse. And that is where the power of love comes in, because when we love, we always strive to become better than we are. Quiet mind, quiet body, Shavasana, rest. Begin to take deeper breaths, moving your hands, your feet. You could always push the pause button and make this Shavasana longer. Otherwise, stretch, bend your knees, roll to your right side, and give yourself a pat on the back because you did a great job. And it was so good for you. Press yourself up to seated. And bring your hands together. Hands to your forehead, reminding you to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to your heart, reminding you to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to your mouth, reminding you to have clear and loving communication, sending this wonderful, relaxing, positive energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. If you like today's yin class, you'll love this one too. And did you know that today's class is part of my 30-day Hatha Yoga Joy program? For the entire playlist, click here. We can all use some more joy.